Get ready because you're about to see one of the most extensive ballistic gel tests we've ever done on this show. All with Norma defensive handgun ammunition, their MHP monolithic hollow points and NXD non-expanding defensive rounds.
MHP is one of our premium products in our self-defense line. It's a solid copper, traditional hollow point, expanding self-defense round. One of the things that really makes it different than a lot of the other solid coppers on the market though, is we don't actually machine the projectile, we actually cold form it. And the cold forming allows us to basically imprint on the bullet exactly what it needs to do at the time of expansion, and then control it and close it back up to the geometry that it needs to be in order to feed reliably.
We shot the Norma MHP into gel. One thing that you notice right off the bat, it doesn't have as much penetration as you might see in some other rounds. And they did that on purpose. For people who are worried about over-penetration, it really distributes a ton of energy in the first 8 to 9 inches, and it goes about 10 to 12 inches total.
They're concerned about the weight, right? Because it's all copper. So when you have two comparable sized projectiles, copper's always going to be lighter. But what you end up with is you end up with a projectile that's moving faster. And that faster weight projectile transfers energy very, very soundly.
Shooters love to argue about 9 versus 45 versus 380. Well, we shot them all side by side into a piece of gel to see what they did through this Norma MHP round. The MHP is a very consistent opening round. You have 4 petals, they're always there, they look beautiful, like a little flower. It's boringly consistent.
NXD is our newest self-defense load. It stands for non-expanding defense. And the NXD is a self-defense load that does not rely on expansion and deformation to transfer that energy that you're looking for to create hydrostatic shock. Instead, it relies on a couple of principles of fluid dynamics. One is the Venturi effect, which if you've ever put your thumb over a water hose, you've exercised the Venturi effect. The primary benefits to the shooter are going to be a few things. One, the bullet projectile. Because you don't need the big open nose cavity to initiate expansion, we mimicked the footprint of an FMJ projectile. If your gun feeds ball, this is going to run. The other is the recoil. Because it's so much lighter, you get the ability to put way more rounds on target quickly because the recoil impulse is both lighter and flatter. So the NXD is available in 9mm, 380, 38, 357, 40, 10mm, and 45. So it'll be a full product line for all your common handgun rounds.
We shot the MHP and the NXD side by side to just take a look at the differences. What we saw was kind of what we expected to see. The MHP didn't go as far into the gel. The NXD, the non-expanding round, went a little bit further, and you can see for yourself the difference in the wound channels. Defensive pistol ammunition simply has to work. And how do we know what it's going to do if you have to use it? We have to test it, and testing it in the gel is the best way. I hope this gives you a good illustration of what these rounds will do.